Hello and welcome to this session. This is Professor Farhat, in which we would look at the educator expense deduction. What does it mean? It means the educator, some sort of an educator, teacher, is getting a tax deduction. Tax deduction means something would reduce their taxes, will increase their refund, or they will pay less in taxes. And this educator expense is a benefit, specifically a tax benefit available to eligible educator in the US. What does it mean for eligible educator? This deduction is available to teachers, instructor, counselor, principal, or aides for kindergarten through grade 12 who work at least 900 hours in a school year that provides elementary or secondary as determined under state law. So simply put, is if you are a teacher up to K-12, high school, you can get some sort of a deduction for supplies that you purchase in order to reduce your taxable income. And this is what we will discuss in this session, just a few rules you need to be aware of. Let's go ahead and get started. Before we proceed any further, I have a public announcement about my company, farhatlectures.com.
You are here because you are serious about mastering taxation. Whether you are taking a tax course, studying for the CPA exam, or enrolled agent, tax feels overwhelming, not because it's impossible, but because it's dense, detailed, and often taught at a pace that doesn't match the way you learn. The rules can feel disconnected, and the logic isn't always explained clearly. At Farhat Lectures, we slow it down. We explain the why behind the rules, break concept into simple steps, and rebuild your understanding from the ground up without assuming any prior knowledge. When explanation matches your learning, everything changes. The confusion fades, the rules start to connect, and tax becomes manageable. If you are ready to understand tax with clarity and confidence, start your free trial at farhatlectures.com and let's build your tax foundation together.
First is how much is the amount. The maximum deduction for 2025 is $300 for unreimbursed educator expense as an adjustment to income. And when we say adjustment to income, this is important. It means it's for AGI. It means the individual does not have to itemize. Why? Because the deduction goes on adjustment to income for AGI. Therefore, let's assume they have $300 of educator expense, $300 in total, and the $300 goes under line 10 on schedule on form 1040. Now remember, I'm looking at 2025. The rules, the amount might change, the form might change. Actually, the rules will change starting in 2026, but I will cover that in this session as well. Beginning 2026, there you go. Under the one big beautiful bill, OBBBA, the above the line cap is indexed for inflation. For example, 300 per eligible educator for 2026, subject to IRS guidance. In other words, this amount would change, but the deduction is the same. It's for AGI. And it's not only that. Also, what's going to happen is, remember, you're limited to a certain amount, 300 or 350 per year. But that's not the case. Under the new OBBBA update, you could have additional deduction. Certain educator expense above the line deduction may also be deductible as itemized deduction on Schedule A. What does that mean? Let's assume you spent $1,000 and immediately you expense $350 on Schedule 1. So you spent $1,000, but you deducted here $350 starting 2026. Let's assume the amount is allowed is $350. Guess what? You still have $650 of qualified expenses, which we're going to see what they are, that you have not deducted yet. Guess what? The government would allow you under the new law to deduct those under miscellaneous expenses under itemized deduction Schedule A. Now, if you don't know what itemized deduction Schedule A, we'll cover those. So the $650 you'll be able to deduct under Schedule A as itemized deduction. Now, if you don't itemize, then you cannot use them. And if you don't qualify under the miscellaneous deduction, you cannot use them. But at least the government is giving you a chance to potentially deduct the remaining $650 in your case. So what are the qualified expenses? Include books, classroom, supplies, computer equipment, other equipment, and supplementary material used in the classroom. Because they felt that $300 was for a long time. They felt that the $300 is a low amount. They're going to index it to inflation starting 2026. Then they add Schedule A to you. But Schedule A, not everyone takes Schedule A, but nevertheless, you need to be aware of it, as well as professional development courses related to the educator's role. There's no professional development course for less than $300. So if the person took one course, it's going to be around $300. So that's why they give you that additional deduction, which you may or may not be able to use. Do you need to document that? Absolutely. Just like everything, you need to document that. Educator should keep receipts and other documentations to substantiate the expense in case of an IRS audit. That's always the case, and education is no different. You want to keep receipts for that. There is a limitation on the deduction you need to be aware of. The deduction, the expense, has to come out of your own money. It cannot be tax-free, it cannot reimburse. So the deduction is limited to the amount of expense that exceed any interest on U.S. savings bond that's excluded from income because it was used for higher education expense. So you cannot use tax-free money for this deduction. You cannot use any distribution from the 529 that is tax-free because they were used to pay education expenses. You cannot use any tax-free withdrawal from a Coverdell education savings account. Simply put, you cannot double up. The money that you spent on these expenses has to be out of pocket, and obviously if they are reimbursed, you cannot deduct them again. So the expense has to come out of your pocket with taxable income, and if you are reimbursed, you cannot take the deduction because they actually reimburse you. You cannot get reimbursed and get the deduction. Let's take a look at this multiple choice question from farhatlectures.com. Which of the following expenses qualify for the educator expense deduction? When the question asks about one of four, start to look for the easy elimination. The one that don't make any sense, you could eliminate immediately. And the exam writer always will find hard time writing wrong, difficult questions. Why? Because it's so hard to write a wrong, difficult question. It's easy to write a easy, difficult question, but not three of them. So look for the easy one that you could eliminate out. So we're looking for which of the following qualify for the educator expense deduction? Educator expense deduction. First, let's think about tuition for a college degree. Well, tuition for a college degree, if you're paying tuition, the government gives you many other deductions and tax credit. So you're not going to use your tuition for a college degree for your educator expense. The educator expense is for a teacher. And if you're paying for a college, you have other deduction, and that's not what you're looking for. You're looking for something to do with you as an educator. I would eliminate A unless you don't understand that there are certain deduction and credits for the college tuition. But if you do that, A is out immediately. A is out immediately. B, classroom supplies. This is very tempting, but we're going to hold to it. Personal computer unrelated to teaching. No, notice it's unrelated to teaching, take it out. So what they're trying to confuse you with, it's personal computer, you could use it for anything. No, it's unrelated to teaching, C is out. D, now we're basically between B and D. Expenses reimbursed by the school district. Again, from a common sense perspective, if they gave you back the money, you cannot deduct it. You cannot, that rule applies for everything. You cannot deduct something that you get a reimbursement for. D is out. Indeed, classroom supplies is the answer. Now, if you want to learn more about this topic, you can ask the AI to explain the topic, explain the correct and incorrect answer, and if you want an additional MCQ, you could ask the AI to create an MCQ for you. What should you do now? Whether you are an educator, EA, studying for the EA, CPA exam, or an accounting student, Invest in yourself. Farhat lectures can help. Additional resources, AI tools, multiple choice on the website. And God bless.